Right, so hopefully they're getting a decent angle at it. If this one doesn't turn out too great, I'll do it on the next one, but so that's another. You have seen that hopefully. On these pole boxes, the wee lock just rusts away and you effectively just need to burst the box, which is not ideal, but there's not much you can do there. But just make sure. Aye, so you'll see there, that's 24-hour supply. Take my fuse out. So there, I know that fuse is working fine. So next up, gonna just strip all the parts off of this fitting. Make sure there's no water in it, because again there's usually always is. Again, if I'm doing this a bit quick, it's just because I'm so used to doing it. So I think I've explained in plenty of videos, but I take every part off of this that can effectively come flying off and hit a car, but I'm not too bad here. I've not got too many cars about me. So get myself positioned. I'll obviously try it with the grub screws, but I'll put money on this needs hammered off, because they always seem to do this type of fitting. I see it's solid. That's solid, aye, so that's not going to come off, so it's going to get hammered. So the trick is to try and hit it sort of bang on there, because if you hit obviously any of the fiberglass, it just turns to mush, and then if you hit any of these bits as well, it just starts to crumble and stuff like that. So you need to try and hit it bang on there. The only thing with that is some of that does eventually tend to break if this is on solid, but we'll give it a try and see. So again, I'm wearing gloves here, but what I've found as well is the gloves are a wee bit slidey, so better just doing it with my bare hands. And what I always tend to do as well is just leave that connected in there, just in case this does go flying off. It's got the resistance of the connections on it as well. So there we go. That one wasn't too bad, but we'll get a wee bit extra slack so we can get that in there. Right, so I've just watched that bit of footage back hammering this off, and it obviously wasn't perfect. So I'll try and even do another fitting as well and get it in a bit better shot. But when I'm hammering it off as well, you've probably seen that I was holding on to the fitting with one hand and hammering with the other. Again, that's obviously just in case it goes flying when you hit it. But what a lot of people do as well is, I hope you can see that, it's just so difficult to get the correct angle on your head in this, but leave a wee knot in here sort of thing, so that if this was to come loose one day, this is the worst that's really going to happen. But let's So I've obviously proved that it's dead. I pulled that fuse out, so happy just to cut these instead of wasting time by disconnecting them. So cold today as well, so the cable's solid. Feels like an armour, no a flex. Right, but there's that off. So just try and straighten this out a wee bit as well. What I'll do, maybe I'll move my bucket and I'll face the other way just so I'm not facing in at that police station. So bear with us, I'll just get this repositioned. Right, that should be fine. So I'll give you a better look at the fitting once we're there, but it's a Thorn 90 watt equivalent I'm going with today. It's just a straight swap. This is what we've been instructed to fit. I've already fitted my photo cell on it. It's just that wee clip there to undo it, open it up, and then take that wee part of the gland off. Take my wee rubber insert out. Just set that down there. So most of these fittings, it's a bit of a ball ache to take the flexor. I don't understand why it's so difficult. So I'm just going to put a wee bit of tape around there just to help try and guide it through. I'm going to try and get this as best I can on camera, but feeding these ones in, it's no the worst out of the bunch of fittings, but it's still not as easy as it should be. So again, I don't know how well you can see down that gap, but I need to try and fish it through there. See, I usually face the other way when I'm doing this. Just find it a bit easier to. Right, there you go. That's. Right, that's that obviously sitting on loosely, so grab my T-bar. So again, I don't know how well you're seeing all this, but I think this is just a 4mm T-bar just to tighten these up, and again just go pretty solid with it. You see that fitting there's sitting at a bit of an angle. I'll just loosen these two bolts here and correct that, but I'll terminate it first. So grab our wee okay, I'm trying to get the best position for you here. It's these. That's the one thing about these fittings. Just because of the way this sits in your way, you can't really get into it too well. And again, if there's loads of wind noise here, I'm sorry, but again, it's just difficult. That bucket's just getting in my way. Right, you'll probably see there that the rain's come on, so I'm going to try and get this bit done pretty rapid. Take that off, and what I find with these fittings, again it's just for experience, but these always need loosened off a wee bit prior to terminating them. I don't know if it's just in transport or whatever, they can tighten up a little bit, but it's just so again, they've not supplied us with any crimps, so I'm going to need to just do this without, which I know is no ideal. Generally I always like to put wee crimps in my connections, but on this occasion it's not possible, so I'm going to need to do without. So again, hopefully you can see this, no bothered, but it's just live on the far side, earth in the middle, and then neutral closest to me, and then they're nice and tight. Don't really think this wee catch is overly important, but I don't really think that having the no single insulation on show here is overly important, obviously just given the height of it and all that sort of stuff. But again, it's still just good practice, isn't it, just to keep all the single insulation away. Again, I think I've highlighted it in these fittings before, but I like to check all the factory connections, especially in these ones, because there's always copper on show, but on this occasion there isn't. So I'll see if I can get a wee That's that, nice and tight. Fitting closes over, no issues. So the only thing I need to do is adjust the tilt of that, and that'll be us done here. Right, so I think the last wee clip you seen there was me doing the fitting and closing it over and all that. So just need to adjust this, put the fuse in, and then that should be fine. So it's a 13mm. Just to, I don't know why this is changed. I made up a bunch of these before starting my work today, because obviously a lot of the columns are different. So hopefully you can see that that's roughly the sort of angle we want on it, so I'm happy with that. That looks pretty level, and that'll give a decent spread of light because it's sort of overlooking the road, and it'll shine a bit back onto the pavement as well, so go with that. I think for doing these, see, because we're needing to put the brackets on these ourselves now, whereas we used to get them sort of pre-made. I think I'm going to, I do have a proper socket set and even ratchet spanners in the house in my wee car tool kit, so I think I'm going to start needing to bring them in just to save us a wee bit of time doing this, but I'm happy that that's solid. So we'll take the bucket over now, try our fuse, and we should obviously see this light up for a few seconds, and then it should go off. Just obviously the photo cell should kick in. So fuse is in, columns lit. Let's give it a few seconds. Obviously it's quite a miserable day today. Aye, there you go, that's went off. So that's this part of this job done. I just need to find a way of getting that back over, or worst case scenario, unfortunately it'll just need to be a tie wrap or something to hold that closed, but let's see if I can do it. See if I can do it on camera. That's not happening. There you go, that's that. It's properly sealed back over without damaging it. I'll get myself down, get myself cleared up, and then I'll jump back in. So as you've just seen there, that's the first of 5 that I've got to do today. Pretty straightforward. If I can do a few more and even just record them, put them on a time lapse or something, just so it's no you guys watching 5 of the exact same sort of thing, obviously in real time sort of thing, it'll be a bit boring for you. So I'll maybe even record others and time lapse, or if there's any of them that have anything a wee bit different to that, then I'll record that for you. On that though, I've just been called away to go and do something, and it's something that I don't think I brought to the channel before, and it's called a permit to work, and it's basically just where an outside company need the local authority to isolate a panel for them for a while. So so that they can obviously carry out works, whether it's like scaffolding or this or that. So we'll go out and have a look at that, and if I can record anything there I will, but I might not be able to, just because obviously there's other companies and stuff like that involved. Right, so I don't think I'll be able to show too much, but up there where you can see that transit with the cordon next to it is where the company is that's needing the permit to work or the isolation. So I've just switched my box on, or I've went and proved what box does it, went and switched this box on, so I've had to drive about, found out it was this box that controls up there. So obviously I'll switch that off now. Going to go up, speak to them. I'll not be able to do that on camera, just too many names, company logos, all that sort of stuff, and they're not really too keen on it. So what I'm going to do is, I need to get my pliers, but I'm going to just safely isolate all this in here. So I'll lock everything off, etc. And then it's just a wee bit of paperwork. So I'll turn that around. So then it's just a wee bit of paperwork that I need to sign. They need to sign on the time that it's been disconnected at, and then whatever time they're going to finish today. So say it's 5 o'clock tonight, I'll need to come back at 5 o'clock tonight, get them to sign it, re-energise the circuit. Right, so again, I don't know how well we can see that there, but just with the guy standing with the full orange on, they're going to be putting in a mast there. After speaking to him, they've told us they're going to be putting in like a high mast sort of thing, and that's why they need these overheads isolated, obviously, because they're going to be swinging in that just in the event that it was to become live, all that sort of thing. The wee clip that I showed you before, my box is just down the bottom of that street, so it's not too far away. It was sort of easy enough to work out where it was fed from and all that sort of stuff. I'm just waiting on the paperwork getting brought to me, and then we can do the signing over and all that sort of stuff. But I've isolated it now for the time being. I'm satisfied that it's all safely isolated. So just waiting on that paperwork, get that signed off, and I'll find out what time I need to come back and re-energise it. So I've not really been able to show you too much for that one there, but obviously circumstances haven't allowed me to properly go in and record sort of other people and other companies and all that sort of stuff. Didn't think it was appropriate, but that's just another wee glimpse into some of the stuff that we get asked to do. It really just depends, but you can get anywhere between it really just depends. You can go months without having any of them, and then sometimes you can have them once every sort of couple of weeks, and then it's just totally down to what each company's doing and how long they need it isolated for, whether it's a couple of hours. I've done ones before where they've needed it isolated for an hour, and then I've done ones before where they've needed it isolated for a few weeks on the spin, and you just need to go and do the same thing every day, which is a bit of a nightmare, but again, it's just another part of the job. Look at this absolute beauty. So bear in mind, this is a 24-hour supplied area. That's your joins on the cables. So one of the boxers punch things. And this has had brand new fitting on it recently, and that's how that's been terminated. And then obviously it's missing a door as well, so I was actually just driving by this when I've got another couple doing this street, but I'm not leaving it like that obviously. I'm going to fix this back. I'll need to go and get a door, just one of the sort of thin temporary ones, and I'm going to bandage that on, and then I'm obviously going to neaten this flex up as well, because that's pretty terrible. Right, so this is what I was meaning when I was saying that I don't have the best angles into this, but I'm thinking I can just go in there, pull my fuse out, and then I can just extend my boom out and hopefully be able to reach this. If not, I can just bring it back in and try and come this side. But we'll start off by doing this. This is clipped in. find these pole boxes a lot easier to work with instead of a pole key, because they always seem to snap. But there's another style of screwdriver ones, and it's just like a push fit and a turn, but the hinges on them always snap, so these ones are the better ones to use. So close that over. So that's the fitting up there, but we'll get a better look at it in a second. Just with this being a 24-hour supply here as well, I'm a bit more conscious of any wee accidents if I was obviously to catch the live or anything like that, but that should hopefully be fine. But you can see the state of this fitting already, or hopefully you can. I find that these arcs, what's that, an Industria, these arc style fittings are really prone to failure, like the ones that's been converted to LED, especially when I've got a mini photocell in them. This one actually doesn't look as if there's any water in this one, mind you, but so that, right, that fuses out. Looks as if somebody's actually taken their time and done this one quite well. They've even used a wee tie wrap to hold the flex on. So that'll move freely, so I'm happy to close that back over now. And then even just get myself a bit. It's one of the ones in one hand I'm happy I'm showing you this one, and in another I'm kind of regretting it, because this is a bit of a pain. It's going to take us a bit longer, but so it's a 5mm T-bar. This one should hopefully come off. You can see my T-bars have had some amount of use. You can see it's all twisted and contorted there, but that's just after these for a couple of years, and for a cheap set they've been brilliant. So that should just what's that about? So I'm doing this a bit backwards usually. Like the first part of this video I'll always leave the connections until last, just as a wee bit extra security on the fitting, but in this instance it was easier to do it that way. Be interesting to test that fitting and see if if it actually is the full thing's gubbed or not. But I'm going on, this is another one of these council complaints that I've just been told to go out and change that fitting, so I'm not even bothering checking it and all that sort of stuff, but maybe even in my own time I'll check that. So same again, I'll just tape up this flex. So the hardest part of this install, now that I'm thinking of it, is actually just going to be getting this new fitting on. Try to think of the best way to do it. At least you're seeing that it's all no an absolute doddle to do. These are I'm trying to think what's the worst. These are one of the worst fittings for this amount of messing about that you need to do to get that on, but right, there you go, that's that on, so that's the trickiest bit done. Now just a case of again, this whole setup I've got going on here is far from ideal with this tool bag. I'm not a massive fan of it. I'm going to buy myself a wee tool pouch or like a wee tool belt, and I'm just going to obviously put it around my waist, and that way I'm going to have my most common hand tools to hand, because this setup's a bit of a nightmare. But again, it's just I've just not got round to getting one yet. Again, get it as level as I can. So it's the exact same as the last one, so I'm just tightening this up. Yeah, it's the exact same process for this here. Sorry for that, the footage is a wee bit funny now. I've just been given another job to go and do, so I said I'm going to just do this a wee bit quicker than I'd hoped. If I get another job, I'm going to get the details of that in a second. But this is obviously the same as the one I done earlier on. I've not got any crimps, which is no ideal, but again, I can't spend a lot of time on this one. I don't really even these ones here. You just need a bit of room. Try the fuse, and there you go. So that's that lit. Screw that up. And there was a reason I left that out, because I knew I would end up forgetting to I didn't quite tighten up both sides. So that one's a bit loose. So I'll tighten that up, because I know there would be somebody in the comments that would have spotted that, and I'd get slaughtered on it. Again, this is a perfect situation where a wee ratchet spanner or even a socket set would have been perfect for this, because I'm reaching a wee bit just because of the overheads and because it's on the other side of the fitting. That's right. That's solid. We know it's working. That box is re-secured, so that's another job done. So I'll clear all the stuff out of this bucket and I'll see you back in the van. And on that note, we'll end the video here. I think I've been able to show you a decent wee bit of variety today. See if you are enjoying these type of videos, the day in the life sort of thing. Let us know down below, or if you would just rather I go and concentrate on doing one specific job. He's happy with doing a mix of individual jobs, and then every other week I can do a day in the life or a week in life, whatever type of video this is. So let us know down below. So now that I'm done here for the day, I'm just going to tidy all my gear up and get myself up the road. It's been a long and cold and wet day again here in Glasgow. So thanks very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and leave a like and a comment in the video. It really does mean a lot to us.